That first 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, it's the magic number, isn't it? It feels like the key that unlocks everything: monetization, motivation, you name it. But man, getting there can feel absolutely impossible. So let's dive into the playbook that's actually going to get you there. Okay, let's start with a tough fact, and this comes straight from our source material. A staggering 90% of new YouTubers, they never actually hit that 1,000 subscriber mark. They get stuck at maybe 50, 100, maybe even 200 subs, and then it's just crickets. The growth flatlines and they give up. And that's the real question, right? What's the secret that the other 10% are in on? Well, it's not some big secret. It's a strategy. It's a playbook. And in this explainer, we're going to break down the 5 key plays that separate the channels that thrive from the ones that, well, end up in the YouTube graveyard. First up, we need to talk about the slow poison shortcut. I'm telling you, this is probably the most dangerous trap for new creators, and it is hands down the fastest way to kill your channel before it even gets a chance to live. This quote from our source just says it all perfectly. Buying fake subscribers feels like a quick win, but it's literally a slow poison. Sure, you see that subscriber number go up, which feels good for a second, but behind the scenes, you are just destroying your channel's reputation with the YouTube algorithm. And this is where you can really see the difference. On one side, you're buying fake subs. What do you get? Bots, fake accounts. You get zero engagement, no likes, no comments, which basically screams to YouTube that your content is boring. You even risk getting shadow banned. But on the other side, if you use YouTube's own promotion tools, you're connecting with real people who are actually interested. The bottom line is this: if you're going to spend money, choose the path that leads to healthy, organic growth. Okay, so you've avoided the poison. That's step 1. Now, let's build the foundation. You have to give the YouTube algorithm and, actual human viewers a super clear reason to follow you. You need to focus. Think about it. If one day you're posting a gaming video, the next day you're doing a cooking tutorial, and the day after that you're reviewing a new phone, you're not just confusing your audience, you're giving the algorithm a headache. It has no idea who to show your videos to, so you know what it does? It just stops showing them to anyone, and that's when your channel grinds to a halt. Now, the solution here isn't to lock yourself into one super tiny topic forever. The best way to think about it is like your niche is a big umbrella. Let's say your umbrella is making money online. Cool. Under that umbrella, you can have videos about blogging or freelancing or maybe digital marketing. You're still talking to that same core audience, but you've got plenty of room to play around and see what works. So, you found your focus. Great. Now it's time to actually engage the people who show up and start building a real community. And this all comes down to 2 really simple but incredibly powerful habits. Remember that 90% number from the beginning? Well, get this. It's back, but in a totally different context. On any given video you post, up to 90% of the people watching have never, ever seen your channel before. They're brand new, and knowing that one little fact should change how you create pretty much everything. And because most of your viewers are new, you have to live by the beginner rule. Seriously, you've got to avoid all that industry jargon like CTR or AVD without explaining what it means. Don't assume anyone knows your backstory. If you can explain your topic so simply that a 10-year-old could get it, you'll keep all those beginners from clicking away. And trust me, the experts will still appreciate how clear you are. Okay, here are the 2 game-changing habits. First, ask people to subscribe. And do it directly and early on, like right after your intro, when you have their full attention. Second, you have to reply to every single comment, especially in that first hour. This builds a real connection, and it signals to YouTube that your video is sparking a conversation, which makes the algorithm want to push it out to even more people. So we've covered channel health, finding your focus, and engaging your audience. But you could do all of that stuff perfectly and still fail if you miss this one last thing. And honestly, this is the single most important part of the whole puzzle. We've all seen this happen, right? You find a video with incredible editing, a perfect click-worthy thumbnail, amazing sound quality, and it has like 50 views. Why? What went wrong? It's because so many creators get obsessed with the packaging and they forget about what's actually inside. Our source uses this brilliant analogy for this. Let's call it the chaiwala or tea seller method. Imagine you make the most amazing, perfect cup of tea in the entire world. But you set up your tea stand in the middle of a desert where nobody is thirsty. You're going to have 0 customers. But what if you sell just average tea at a super busy train station packed with people. You're guaranteed to sell out. Your video's idea, that's your location. So, what that tea seller story really teaches us is this simple formula. Your job isn't just to make a good video. Your job is to find a train station, a topic where the audience demand is super high, but the supply of good content is low. That right there, that's the recipe for guaranteed growth. All right, let's put it all together. You now have the complete playbook. We're going to recap the absolute mission-critical rules that'll get you to your first 1,000 subscribers and way beyond. Here it is. This is your path. Avoid those fake shortcuts like the plague. Find your focus. Treat every single viewer like they're a beginner. Ask for that subscribe and reply to every comment. And most important of all, remember, a great idea in a busy train station beats amazing editing in a desert every single time. And that pretty much brings us to the end. The playbook is in your hands now, but it all comes down to actually applying that last, most powerful lesson. So the question I want to leave you with is this: what busy train station, full of people who are hungry for content, are you going to serve with your next video? Find that place and you will grow.